Welcome back to another Film Geek movie review. Today, in just a bit, I am off to check out the new movie, Gran Turismo. So what is the plot of this film? Well, it tells the real story of a true race car driver who actually became a real racing driver because of the video game Gran Turismo. He was handpicked to be able to enter into a competition, I think it was Nissan, a Nissan racing competition, where he learned how to actually drive a real vehicle and all, and compete. And he is still competing, to the best of my knowledge, today over in Europe, I believe. But yeah, that sounds really interesting to me. When I first heard that they were making a Gran Turismo movie, I was like, the racing game? What? Is there, like, I don't play it, so is there a story mode that I'm not aware of? Because I just thought it was like a racing sim. And yes, that's exactly what the game is. It is a racing simulator. I never was a huge fan of racing sims. I'm more of a arcade racer fan. The Burnout series is where it's at for me. I just didn't like all the real technical aspects of the sim racing thing. It's like, bro, I'm just trying to forget about my troubles and play a crazy ass video game. I don't want to actually drive something. So as someone who's actually tried to play that video game, I can see how it could really lead someone to be a real race car driver. I mean, honestly, no different than someone who learns how to fly a plane by a flight simulator. Why couldn't a video game that's so, with the proper simulation equipment, why couldn't you learn how to drive a race car? So yeah, this looks like an interesting film to me. It does look like it's going to be just your typical, like, underdog sports story, which I'm okay with. I have admitted in the past that I have a super soft place in my heart for movies such as that. So I don't care if it's filled with tropes or anything, as long as the film is delivered in a unique fashion, maybe, or, it tells a very intriguing story. I don't know. I mean, the trailer just gives me the basics. Alright guys, well that's enough of me sitting here jibber-jabbing. It's time for me to hit the road, quite literally, race to the theater, and check out Gran Turismo. Welcome back. Just getting home, and you know what, guys? This movie really surprised me. I enjoyed it a lot more than I was really expecting to. Okay, let's get this started, shall we? We're going to get it going like I like, get things started with the negatives, and then we're going to end on the positives, so the video ends on the ever so important high note. Okay, so the very big negative, honestly, in this film, and it really didn't bother me much, but I could see where it could bother some people. This is a very straightforward, normal, run-of-the-mill kind of biopic, and yes, this is definitely one of those underdog sports movies, and it's filled with all the proper tropes. However, it is based on a true story, so, I mean, yeah, they might be underdog story tropes, but, I mean, it happened. So, yeah, it isn't all that incredibly uniquely told, but it isn't terrible, and it doesn't ruin the film. I just think for some people, if they're expecting this to be presented in a very different way than a normal sports film is, this is not the movie. This film is still pretty straightforward the way it delivers its message and its story. Now, let's get this started with the positive, shall we? The first thing I want to address is the amazing cinematography in this film. It was mind-blowing. I mean, there were moments that I just sat there and just could not figure out how the cinematographer pulled off some of these shots, especially with stuff that was in the driver's seat. You have these amazing views that I don't think I've ever seen before in a film. So I had to look it up and come to find out that the cinematographer used a special type of Sony camera that has detachable probes that allowed him to put these probes in completely different areas and catch shots that you normally cannot get using a regular camera or even a rig, somebody sitting in there with a handheld cam, something of that sort. You just can't get shots like that unless you use these kind of probes. And man, it is something else. The cinematography in this film is ridiculously good. Another thing, the sound mixing and sound design is insane. The sound itself is so awesome. It really helps make you feel like you are right there sitting in the passenger seat while all of this stuff is going on. The sound design is very well done. The sound mixing is also excellent. At no time, even with all of these big car sounds, at no time was I unable to hear what the actors were saying and what was going on. It was great, extremely well done. Also, too, the acting in this film is very good. I'm going to go ahead and say that one of the biggest outstanding roles in this film is done by Archie Madekmay, and he plays our lead, Jan. He is the person whose story this is, and he does an outstanding job with the role. I don't think I know him from anything else, but I am definitely going to be INDing him so I can find out more movies that he's in, or maybe TV shows. David Harbour is also in this film, and he plays your, again, going back to the tropes, your gruff, but with a heart of gold teacher slash coach, head engineer, whatever his title is. He's the motivating factor throughout the film. And of course, he starts off being one of those guys who's like, well, I'm a real tough, mean dude. But don't worry, guys. I'm going to help you get there. I just have my own methods. But David Harbour does much better than I just did. And Orlando Bloom is in this film. I honestly cannot remember the last time I saw a movie with Orlando Bloom. This is actually the two Orlandos now. Last week was Orlando Jones. This week is Orlando Bloom. The Orlandos are coming back, it seems. And he also does an outstanding job. He plays the Nissan representative, the marketing guy, who comes up with the idea of using the simulator drivers to be the drivers, the real drivers. And he does a good job too. He's not like a jerk. You kind of, because he's a corporate dude, you kind of expect him to be like all weaselly and stuff, but no, he's all right. So yes, the film is a lot better than I was really expecting it to be. Yes, it's tropey, but it's delivered in such a good, heartwarming way that you don't really care. And this is the kind of movie that, again, it makes you feel all pumped up and ready to take on the world when you walk outside. And let me tell you, when I walked out to my car, yeah, well, I didn't drive fast. I drove quite normal. But man, I wanted to. I wanted to tear it up in my vehicle. Well, anyways, guys, yes, this is a solid. Get out there and see it in theaters. And I went to a special showing of the IMAX experience, and let me tell you guys, it is definitely worth the price of admission if it does cost more in your area to check out on the IMAX, especially with that big sound system and that massive screen. It really makes you feel like you are sitting right there with Jan racing around those tracks over in all sorts of places across the world. Alright guys, well that's all I have for you today. Get out there, check this movie out. It is definitely a lot more fun than the trailer makes it look. Alright, well that's all I have for you today. Thanks again for watching the Film Geek. If you liked what you saw here today, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, share the videos, give me the old thumbs up. And if there's one more thing you can do, folks, that is keep watching movies. You know I gotta go let a cat out of a bathroom, it seems.